Flatfoot Dance Company is involved in dance development programs which we run in the rural areas, so we call them our rural programs. We work in 2 villages, in Dumo and Mboza, which is right up on the border of Mozambique, so quite a far drive from Durban, about 5 hours. Mboza and Dumo are very famously known to be the place where genetically modified cotton was grown, and it was supposed to be the big success story of GE. One of the lecturers in the economic history program started doing research that looked at rural farmers, and the supposed success story around genetically modified crops with cotton was in fact not a success story. One of the outcomes of that was that the farmers would agree to participate in the research and be part of the understanding of what was going on in the Makatini flats if there was some buy-in with the community, and one of the things that was suggested was to start an arts project with the kids. And so since about 2004 this program has been running, and it's an annual program.
Hola, my gosh. Sisendo community hall. We have some new faces in the youth project, and the class went very well. I hope that from now until December we're going to be able to train these kids to become responsible and to become sort of like professional dancers in future, we hope.
The work is basically an arts development program, and these are 2 villages which they've got wonderful schools, but the schools lack the facilities for arts education. As we are dancers in a dance company, the idea of going to impart our life skills learning through dance, which is really our pedagogy and our philosophy around dance as intervention methodology. We deal with themes around the environment and HIV and gender-based violence. So the dance work and the theatre work, although it's performance-based work, it's also about dealing with issues that those children face every day.
We have really been sitting down and discussing how the HIV and AIDS pandemic has affected all of us.
Most of the children, when we started here, they were very, very, very shy. Like they didn't want to talk, they didn't want to participate. We had to help, slowly but surely, we had to help them to open up. Then we said, listen, we are humans just like you. Don't treat me like I'm a king or whatever. Just talk to me. If you have a problem, talk to me.
I think the more we talk to them and the more we teach them technique and everything like that, they listen up, and then they start believing in themselves, and they start growing, and they start thinking about the future.
6, 7, 8. I think the benefit is, first of all, the fact that people care enough to come all the way from Durban to work with them, and that these are forgotten communities often. And that for me, as an arts practitioner and someone who really understands the benefits of arts as life-changing, to allow these children the opportunity to experience arts and culture, not just as a remembered thing, but something that's embodied, something that they do and that they are and that they value.
The children who are in the part of this program, they excel in their studies at school. So if parents could be the part of this, fully engaged to this program, I think it would help a lot.
There are, in fact, 11 students from Ndumu now studying at university. So that idea of also facilitating an access to higher education has been one of the outcomes of the adult project, which I think we can be very proud of.
The politics of gender here are quite different. When I arrived, it was usually the guys that did everything. You'd ask a question, and it was the guys that would put up their hands, and the girls were sort of in the shell, in the subordinate shell. We started pairing them, working in such a way that we would pair a guy and a girl. They've gotten used to it now, and they have a completely different sense of their own bodies. I think the ladies especially are more in charge of their own bodies. I've watched them grow from this to this.
Because even with me, when I started dancing, I really didn't like my body. But the more I learned about my body and the more I learned how to use it, I love it now.
They will work on choreography or theatre pieces or artwork, and then finally at the end of the year we go up for what we call our big concert weekend, and the kids then invite their parents and their caregivers and members of the community. Sometimes the schools we're working with come and watch as well, and we perform the work that we've been working on.
And then we hand out certificates. just to say thank you for being part of the project.
I think this concert of ours today went partially well. They nailed it.
What's fulfilling for me about this whole program is just seeing that change, as gradual as it may be, but it's a change nevertheless.
It is a beautiful project, and I wish it doesn't stop.
We want to continue the project. Obviously, it's funding related, and for us to go there and offer something that is joyful, that is a celebration of self and of a life, I think it's very valuable.
Mama Konya, yeah yeah, Baba Konya, Mama Konya, un dia quero lá o again, na 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 na.